What's up guys, back here with another video for you. This is like my 6th try trying to make this video. Crap keeps happening. So I'm just gonna cut into it. So the first thing that we're listening to here is Grom's with Happiness. It's When You Were Dead. It is Ukrainian black metal with obviously poor English, judging by the title of the album. But this is one of the nice, rare blackmetal.com releases that aren't ridiculously bad. But this is really cool. So, first I got here is Girl School's Take a Bite. They're like a hard rock heavy metal band with a little bit of punk rock infused in there. It's all female, which who cares? But it's really awesome stuff. They make really good stuff. It's really kind of akin to Motorhead, which is what I mostly know them for playing with on an EP in the early 80s. It came with my Ace of Spades remaster copy that I have. It's really good stuff. Definitely check that out. Check this out. Next is some German black metal, Vidard, with whatever this album is. I looked it up in the Metal Archives before I bought it because I'd never heard of it, and this awesome cover was very intriguing, obviously. Also beautiful disc art, but yeah, it said it was depressive black metal. I don't get the depressive feel from it. It's not like Shining or Hypothermia or anything like that. It's a lot more akin to stuff like Eldamar. It's really melodic but kind of somber. Somber for its maybe has a lot in common with it actually. Definitely check this out. It's really nice and melodic. It's really good stuff. Next, Halloween's Walls of Jericho, including the Halloween EP. Any power metal collector's gotta have this. I mean, this is essential stuff. What's weird is the Halloween EP is before the Walls of Jericho, which is weird because I feel like the base of the CD is the Walls of Jericho, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I just thought it was kind of weird that they put it up like that. Next, Enslaved's first album, as well as the Nordland EP. I think I do already have the Nordland EP, but I don't know if it's the same remaster. This is a Candlelight, and I don't remember who pressed that, nor do I care enough to look. But this is awesome. You guys have all heard this. It's the first Enslaved record. Next, Italian progressive power metal, Secret Sphere, Mistress of the Shadowlight. Awesome, awesome album cover here. This is actually what sold me on it. I'd never heard it, and I just picked it up because I love the album cover so much, and it was a good price. But yeah, it's kind of the slower power metal. It's got more akin to Queensryche than maybe like a Rhapsody. But it's still really good. I don't really like Queensryche all that much. That's kind of a downgrade to this album for me because this was a lot better than anything Queensryche's ever put out. At least anything I've ever heard. But yeah, Secret Sphere. Next, Defenders of the Faith by Judas Priest. Gotta have them. I went through a kick of listening to Judas Priest like power ballads a couple of weeks ago, and this came out of that. I went to the record store and picked this up. Yeah, gotta have it. Next, I picked this up at a St. Vincent de Paul resale shop in Baraboo, Wisconsin. This is Fog Crawler, Welcome to Your Suffering. This is death metal from Janesville, Wisconsin. I'm not 100% sure what it sounds like. I haven't listened to it yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be brutal death metal based off these guys. So that's going to be good. And this one here is not metal at all, but it's, it's epic. This is Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring soundtrack. If you guys like these movies, you guys got to know how crazy these soundtracks are. It's great stuff. But yeah, I think I have all of them now. I just need to get the Hobbit one. And from here on out, there's no more metal, so if that's all you're here for, see you next time. Next thing I got here is Northwest Passage by Stan Rogers. This is a sea shanty and traditional folk song singer. He's got a really deep voice. It's really, really awesome. There's a lot of really good harmonies and really epic soundscapes. It's really good stuff. Next, Dallas McCurry, A Deeper Shade of Blue. This is a 90s bluegrass. Really, really good stuff. Del McCurry has that perfect high lonesome, traditional bluegrass harmony sound to his voice. It's very good. Next, the band Northern Light and Southern Cross. This is probably one of the best band records. Maybe this one or Music from Big Pink. But this has my favorite song on here, which is Acadian Driftwood. It's by far my favorite band song. And Ophelia is on here. It Makes No Difference. Great stuff. Rags and Bones. Next, Patsy Cline, Live at the Opry. Patsy Cline's up there singing her heart out at the Ryman. It's such a good record. She's just wailing, you know, no pun intended. Yeah, plays I Fall to Pieces, Lovesick Blues, Walking After Midnight, The Church of Courtroom, Then Goodbye, Crazy Dreams. Great. Next, the Eagles. One of Those Nights. I love the Eagles. I don't care what anybody says. This is great. This album's a little funky. This sounds like that 70s show to me, but like, I really love the first earlier stuff, but I'm glad I'm filling in the collection of the early stuff. Next, Ramblin' Jack Elliott's Young Brigham and Bull Durham Sack and Railroad Tracks. This is a folk singer from the 60s who hung out with Woody Guthrie quite a bit. He's very, very good. His vocals are not the best, but he's really good at telling a story. You know, this is kind of like what I imagine listening to somebody's grandpa on a porch, who's been a cowboy his whole life would sound like. It's really, really cool stuff. Next, The Byrds, Younger Than Yesterday. This is a country rock band from the 60s, kind of just psychedelic-y, featuring David Crosby. He was a great addition to this band, and obviously if you have any of the CSNY guys in your band, you have great harmonies. Next, it's going to be The Doors, Waiting for the Sun. For the longest time, I thought The Doors were just kind of sloppy rock, like sloppy drug-fueled rock, and it kind of is, but I really have grown to like what they're doing. Not to Touch the Earth is my favorite song. I actually learned it on the organ once, and I haven't played it since. Next, New Riders of the Percival Sage, The Adventures of Panama Red. This is a folk rock, country rock band that Jerry Garcia formed right around the time Working Man's Dead and American Beauty were coming out. And it's more of that kind of stuff. It's great stuff. I have two albums by Neil Young, 1970 and 1975. Tonight's the Night and After the Gold Rush. Obviously, After the Gold Rush is one of the most classic records, akin to Harvest and stuff like that. And I have never actually heard this one, so I'm really, really excited to have these. Next, for my deadheads here, my buddy gave this to me for Christmas a little early, so thanks, Sam. This is Rockin' the Cradle, Egypt, 1978, Grateful Dead show. This is one of the most classic shows. This, like the Cornell show, the Veneta Oregon show. Classic stuff. But yeah, great set, and this digipack's really, really cool. It's pop up like that, little pyramid action. That's cool. Yeah, definitely hyped to have some good Dead in the collection. Next, Randy Travis, Always and Forever. This is probably Randy's most famous album. Obviously, Forever and Ever Amen is probably his biggest hit. I'm a big fan of Randy Travis. He puts out constant bangers every time. Next, Buddy Holly's Peggy Sue. The Dead keeps coming up, but the original version of Not Fade Away is on here. The Dead played a lot better. Next, Levon Helm, Electric Dirt. I found this like 3 days before I found it at the record store, not even looking for it. I was just looking through the used rack, and this was in there for like $6. It was a great score. It's a Grateful Dead song on the back. They play Tennessee Jed. Really good stuff. Levon plays the mandolin most of the record too. Next is Vicky Emerson. It was a blind buy I picked up at a resale shop. She's from Minnesota, and it's like singer-songwritery folk music, and it's got some serious tinges of a little shoegaziness to it, and some really cool cello work, if I remember right. It's really good stuff. Definitely check this out. Next, one of my favorite bands of all time, Where It All Began by the Almond Brothers. This is one of the few bands who never put out a bad record, in my opinion, and this is nonetheless awesome. One of my favorite songs ever on here is Back Where It All Began, and then they have Soulshine, Sailing Across the Devil's Sea, Everybody's Got a Mountain to Climb. It's just a great Almond Brothers record. Next, Rolling Stones, Exile on Main Street. There's not much I need to say. I mean, Rip This Joint's on here. It's a great one. Sweet Virginia is a classic tune. Next, Cash. Johnny Cash, American 6, Ain't No Grave. This is a great one of the Johnny Cash later records. It has a bunch of really cool songs in it. I mean, Ain't No Grave's a great song. 1 Corinthians 15:55 was great. Cool Water, I Don't Hurt Anymore. Great stuff. Super dark, super sad. Next, Sunny Sweeney, Concrete. She is a modern country singer who got a lot more outlaw country-ish on her newer releases. This is from the early 2011. This is not as awesome as her later stuff is, in my opinion. It's a little too poppy, but nonetheless, I'm going to keep it in the collection. Next, Willie Nelson's You Don't Know Me, the songs of Cindy Walker. I was completely unaware Willie Nelson didn't write Bubbles in My Beer, and this woman is a powerhouse. She also wrote Cherokee Maiden, The Warm Red Wine, Don't Be Ashamed of Your Age, Sugar Moon, It Was Walking Out the Floor, I Was Just Walking Out the Door. Great stuff. Willie sings them great as well. I really like this. Looks really good. Next, George Strait, It's Just Comes Natural. I'm just filling in my the holes in my collection of George Strait. So just add another one in there. He has a lot of albums. Now, I've decided I finally want to get into Vince Gill. This is the High Lonesome Sound. I've never heard it. I like the song he wrote, All Prayed Up. I've heard a really nice bluegrass version of a band called Branded Bluegrass that does it, and it's really awesome. So I picked that up hoping to like it. Next, Elvis's Christmas. I just figured I'd show it off real quick. Resale purchase. You know, it's Elvis. I grew up on Elvis. Next, my buddy recommended me this, so I grabbed it. It's Continuum by John Mayer. I like John Mayer, but like, I don't listen to it in my own time. I really don't like how poppy it gets sometimes. But you know, Slow Dancing in a Burning Room and Gravity around here. It's just John Mayer being John Mayer. And the last thing I got here is a whole bunch of one guy, and it's all Jimmy Buffett. Meet Me in Margaritaville. It's good stuff. You know, it's just that relaxed, weird kind of island folk music. Then Beach House on the Moon. Changing Latitudes, Changing Attitudes. And then this one is Banana Wind. And then these last one are a compilation, Beaches, Boats, and Ballads. So yeah, that's this collection update, guys. We went everywhere from depressive black metal to Jimmy Buffett. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys probably after the holiday. Merry Christmas or happy whatever you celebrate. Keep it crazy.